while Walmart shares rose 21%. Who else is winning? Costco, these days with 13% higher May comp club sales, and Big Lots reporting better than expected earnings. And Aldi has found a way to offer consumers those rock bottom prices on core supermarket items by eliminating practically everything but the product. The In-Store Marketing Institute has reported on retail strategies around the government rebate checks, Walmart's offer to cash checks for free, Staples hosts an online economic stimulus center with discounts and offering help in a tough economy. Sears and sister company Kmart promise store gift cards with a 10% bonus. And Home Depot has added a microsite encouraging consumers to turn your tax rebate into an update. So what are the implications of the trend in consumer confidence as we see it? Well, think about, where does your product or service fall on the want to need spectrum? And can you use an emotional connection to shift consumers from I want to I need? Yeah, I think we all know that consumers are still going to buy the things that they want, but with fewer purchase opportunities due to reduced trips, we feel like that emotional connection is going to play a more important role in order to close them when they're in that I just want it so bad I really need it phase. Are there ways your business can motivate consumers to actually plan to purchase with you, like layaway programs used to do? Are there ways you can reinforce the savings the consumer receives, giving them that emotional reward? And how can you capture your share of stock-ups by communicating real limited time offers? We think there is some opportunity to help consumers understand when the limited time offer is real. We think that in terms of saving time for the consumer, they might really appreciate some authentic, clear messaging that communicates that this price really won't be back for X amount of time. By giving the consumer permission to stock up, we think brands can earn a greater share of those purchase occasions. How can your business give the consumer a feeling of indulgence at a time when they're focused on need? And also be prepared to respond to these new consumer buying behaviors. And that could mean meeting competitors' prices to empowering your salespeople to negotiate with customers. Okay, so we're on to our second trend, consumer convenience. And convenience has always been a good thing in the mind of the consumer, but over the last 10 years, convenience has become a necessity and something that consumers require in order to manage their busy lives. Not only is convenience something you don't want to give up, it's something they can't give up. Time has become the most important value to many Americans. According to Pew Research, 67% of Americans said that having enough free time to do the things I want to do was very important, outranking things like having a successful career, getting married and having kids, and even being wealthy. Pew Research also conducted a survey asking respondents whether a broad array of everyday consumer products are luxuries or necessities, and found that the number of things they just can't live without has increased over a decade ago. Some of these goods, such as home computers, have rapidly transformed in the public's eyes from luxury toward necessity, but other items like microwave ovens and dishwashers have also made substantial leaps in the past decade, even though they've been on the consumer landscape for far longer. The macro trend we're seeing here is ready, set, go, where the world is measured in milliseconds, and we all need a little more time to do what we really want to do. Convenience is defined by the quality of the time we save, and it plays a bigger and bigger role because it seems to do the impossible, gives us more time. What is really interesting about this trend is that we know consumers always seem to find the time to do the things they love doing. It's the stuff that's painful for them that they want to minimize. So when we think about the impact that convenience has on shopping behavior, it can be a powerful draw, especially if it's defined as one-stop shopping. The Hartman Group asked consumers to choose which was most important, the lowest possible prices or one-stop shopping. And consumers were hard-pressed to do so, with over half of them saying they were both equally important. They also did some research specifically in the convenience food category and found that the amount extra that consumers were willing to pay for convenience food varies. The bottom line is that somewhere along the way toward hiking the price up an extra 10% for convenience, about half of the consumers would drop out. But it was clear that when convenience meant reducing the drudgery aspects to getting a meal on the table, that certainly some would pay for that convenience. We think convenience is an issue on which consumers will vote with their wallets. against products and services that are inconvenient. And I think that the travel industry, again, is a big one here. According to the Travel Industry Association survey, frustrated air travelers avoided an estimated 41 million trips over the past 12 months at a cost of more than $26 billion to the U.S. economy. 39% of all air travelers feel their time is just not respected in the air travel process. And among frequent air travelers, that number surges to 51%. And they'll vote for products and services that are convenient. I mean, Netflix continues to grow. They ended Q108 with approximately 8.2 million subscribers, a 21% year-over-year growth, and 10% sequential growth over fourth quarter 2007. Retailers are changing their layouts to provide a more convenient shopping experience. Look at Piggly Wiggly's new Myrtle Beach store. It has items grouped together by meal logic. They call it their intuitive store and has items grouped by how consumers would naturally look for them, like ground beef, hamburger buns, chips, and beer grouped together for backyard grilling. We're also seeing a sharp increase in comparison shopping from home via the internet to save both time and gas. Think about this. 10 years ago, a person shopping for a car visited the dealership an average of 5 times, and now the average number of visits is 1.6. The Nielsen Company reports that over 85% of the world's online population has used the internet to make a purchase, a 40% increase over just 2 years ago. And consolidation of trips may even be happening online as multi-channel online retailers gained 2 share points in first quarter 08. The average order value is higher on these sites as well compared to pure play retailers. So who's doing convenience right at retail? Well, the Gap is a great example. The Gap and its siblings, Banana Republic, Old Navy, and Piperline, are making online checkout a little easier by integrating their websites. Each store site displays tabs for the other brand's pages. They share a virtual shopping day, and e-shoppers pay one flat shipping rate to get all of their selections shipped together. Walmart Site to Store is a growing pipeline for the retailer, and it's attracting a new kind of convenience customer to now visit the store. With its focus on one-stop shopping, Walgreens has increased share in 59 out of 60 top product categories compared to its competitors in food, drug, and mass as measured by Nielsen. Their current advertising campaign heavily promotes this one-stop. We know an auto dealer group that is leveraging the concept of convenience by making it easy for consumers to shop across multiple vehicle brands. Imagine one salesperson who works to show you multiple cars at multiple locations. So think about, how might your business support a one-stop solution for your customers? It's important to understand the role that convenience plays in pricing your category. And what's inconvenient for the customer relative to buying your product or service, and how could you fix that? You know, now more than ever before, excellence in execution means more to the consumer, from personal service to minimizing out of stock. And I should mention that when we looked at the research on the air travel industry, it was actually the people touch points that were giving flyers the perception of inconvenience. And so we think personal selling and just basic execution are going to be important strategies to win with consumers. Okay, so now we're on to our third trend, consumer consciousness. Health is a bigger priority for consumers, and it's not just the physical health of themselves and their family, but also the health of the planet that concerns them. There's a growing awareness that personal health impacts the planet's health. Consumers are looking at green and health as a badge that conveys important consumer values, including cool, style, belonging, and awareness. One important thing to note, though, is we can't forget the role convenience plays in the consumer's life, and health and green can't stand in the way of that. Consumers' knowledge of green and health has matured. 85% of U.S. adults say they care about protecting the environment, which is just about as close to consensus as you can get these days. And I think a good way to understand what's going on is to imagine the ripple effect that you see after you throw a stone into a calm lake. I mean, with that first plop, you get that small inner circle that sends off a wave of increasingly bigger rings around it. And that's really what's happening in sustainability. It started out that just those core low-cost consumers were the ones actively talking and heavily purchasing around sustainability. But now it's the less passionate groups that are also paying attention. Hot topics include personal and corporate responsibility among sustainability bloggers, And a broader group understands the nuances of things like fair trade, renewable energy,